Matt Keller at DC Comics, who I had known for a few years at this point, called and asked if I would be interested in creating a soundtrack album for the Dark Knight's Death Metal comic series. I'd already known Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo because we attempted to do one with their first series, Dark Knight's Metal. But it didn't quite come to fruition. And I thought, man, that would be really amazing if we really were able to dig in. And then Matt called and said, hey, we have time. Do you want to do it? I thought about it. And then Greg Pucciato from Dillinger Escape Plan, he's a good friend of mine. And of course, Gil Sharon is a great friend of mine too. And we got together and wrote Now You've Really Done It. I thought, I just wanted to do a post-punk song with those guys just for fun. And then the opportunity to work with so many of the artists in writing and production, producer capacity was great. So that's when I thought, okay, why don't we make a motion comic and I'll engage the artists to voice the classic DC characters. And, Andy, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him because the guy works is harder than anybody I've worked with. And he's a great guy, really great to work with. He voiced Batman for us, and then that led to DC loving his performance so much that they insisted that Andy and I do a song. And after talking to everybody, I thought it'd be great to do one with Andy and Maria Brink, who's the singer from In This Moment. And I did not know at the time when I asked them both to do the song that they had been scheduled to tour together until COVID brought it down. And the awesome thing is we did Meet Me in the Fire, and we love the song. And now that it's come out, fans have really responded to that song in a very positive way. And then both their bands are touring together starting September. So it was kind of an awesome moment of kismet that occurred through doing this record. But he brought such a cool attitude and spirit to the motion comic that it really buoyed a lot of the other band members and singers from these bands who voiced the larger role characters. I think he really set a great standard between he and Chelsea, and Hasselhoff is always fun to play off of, and he's a personal friend, and I love David. But it was really cool that Andy's performance infused this idea of making this motion comic with such legitimate, authentic energy. So that too really was something that helped push this record forward, the whole project. When Health and I wrote Anti-Life, we really loved the song, right? And the title's extracted directly from one of the issues of the comic. But there was a thought, wow, it'd really be cool to have like just a guest vocalist on this. And, knowing the band well, because we are personal friends, I know Chino Moreno is like the favorite singer on the planet. So, I hit Chino up and asked if he would just give us a guest vocal, and he was down, and he sent a vocal to us 2 days later. So that was the challenging part, was the logistics of people being located around the world. But we did manage to do it. And that's actually even a greater testament to everyone's enthusiasm about being a part of this project, because it's very difficult to get people from all over the globe to really focus and to deliver, from their songs to all the conversations with me to their voice performances of characters. And it really felt great to experience that with all of the artists. It didn't matter if it was one of our younger artists like Starcrawler, who I love, and I'm working with them on their new record, and we're really excited about that. But then at the same time, like Mark from Idols, they wrote a great song. He voiced a character for us, and it wasn't like a big ask and pulling teeth. It was like, oh yeah. Or Andy Hall from Manchester Orchestra was like, are you kidding? I can voice Lex Luthor. Hell yeah. So it was really cool to engage people in something that was just, fun from our personal geek or nerd sides, because we all are. I mean, anyone who's committed to creating art day in and day out is a nerd for what they do. So it was awesome. The thing about Lobo that Tim McElrath voiced from Rise Against, we didn't really have anyone besides Andy Biersack with like a voice that goes way into the baritone range. And so I thought, Tim's got, kind of a fun punk rock energy about him. And so I had him voice Lobo, and then DC heard it and they're like, ooh, Lobo's got kind of a gruff voice. And I'm like, no, our Lobo's punk rock, man. So I thought Tim's attitude was great. It was perfect. And just like Chelsea Wolfe, she's very monotone and somber in her performance. But the great thing about that is that, in my view, she's the Wonder Woman that, has seen every devastating, horrific thing in humanity happen. And yet she's still holding out hope for the greater good. So once fans saw that we were just doing our own thing and that we love it, I mean, this was just because it was for the love. No one got paid to voice these characters. It was just like, cool, I'll do it. So, I think that resonates, that's transcendent. It's intended to be a DIY. This was not intended to be a slick, polished product. This was really a kind of like our own mosaic, so it was a lot of fun.